Are you recording?
Does it look like I'm recording?
Yeah.
It's because it is. It's the end of day. I guess technically day 3, day 2.5. I don't know. We got old Hosty back at 2 o'clock this afternoon. We left our campsite at about 10:30, went into Rakaya, which is about a half hour away, where the mechanic was supposed to be working on it, I think.
Or where he was going to meet us.
I thought the mechanic was outside of Rakaya.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that.
I think so. But in contact, not shot. He missed. In contact with the owner all morning, about every hour and a half we called him. Finally we got the van and hit the road. By a little after 2, I guess. We're going to go down to Omarma, which is south of Twizel for all you geography buffs out there. Because none of you know where these places are. Mostly because I'm not pronouncing them right. And then decided...
Twizzle.
Yeah. That's where they make Twizzlers. Then decided that maybe driving through these mountain roads in dark wouldn't be a good idea. I decided that because he was driving. You see how I clutched the handrail.
Listen, I'm not a bad driver. All right, I just so you guys know, I'm not a bad driver. I just tend to, I don't know. Okay, he clutched the rail a couple times. That's it.
Most of the trip.
Because you're falling out of your seat. You couldn't.
Yeah, no, that's not. Moving on.
Okay. Right.
So we decided to come to. We got to Fairleigh, and instead of going west, we decided to come southeast. So we're currently at Mount Nimrod Scenic Park or Reserve or something. It's pretty nice. There's a day walk we're gonna take tomorrow. Here in the, it's very jungle-esque. It's kind of nice. Had to go through several close behind yourself gates. It's very like Jurassic Park. That might be what you're hearing. You're hearing the velociraptors.
Oh, that makes me sleep well tonight.
Yeah, exactly. So we've had dinner, which was fun. Because when we switched the vans yesterday, and you'll see where this is going before it's over. When we switched the vans yesterday, he took the butane out of Hosty and put it in Ruby. And then when we switched back today, that didn't happen. But we didn't realize it till we got parked here a couple hours later. And he went to turn it on and it wasn't there. But it wouldn't be a day if I didn't bitch about something. So we had ramen noodles made with hot water instead of boiling. It still worked pretty well.
Oh yeah,
it was very delicious.
Actually, really good.
Satay of some sort, and then we had our Oreos with milk because we can't have hot chocolate tonight because there's no boiling water. So yeah, we're settling in for the night. It's only 10 after 7. So we still have a few hours before we really need to hit the sack. But yeah, so that's where we are today. Yeah. Anything to add? Okay, good. This morning, I'm greeting you from what I assume is the summit of Mount Nimrod. I hope that's not it, because that's a lot higher than we are now. But we're at the top of something. It's a nice sunny morning. It's about 8:45 in the morning. It took us about half an hour to get up here. Not sure where we were camped at elevation-wise, but the summit of Nimrod is 990 meters, which is, about 3,000 feet. More than that. So yeah, it was cold last night. Though at first it was really warm, which was weird.
Mm.
Like almost too warm.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I was about to drift off to sleep, you know, right when you're right there, our water pump kicked on. Obviously somebody does not want us to be well rested or comfortable or on time this trip. But I'll take the camera off the limb now and I'll show you what we can see. Oh, so you can see the mountains there. And then we think far off in the distance that might be the ocean. Kind of hard to tell, it's a little hazy. And then trying to keep the sun out of it. Failed at that. But yeah, so I suppose this is still Canterbury. I don't think we're in Otago yet. But yeah, it's kind of pretty up here. And that's that hill I was talking about. Mountain, whatever. But it's been a busy morning. We got a lot of driving to do today, so go do something else too. Okay, we are kind of at another summit. Can't really tell where our last one was. That's okay. I mean, it's over there somewhere. To give you some reference, that's the hill that I was hoping we weren't going to go to. You can see where we are in relationship to it. I think we're supposed to go down that way though, because there's a sign with an arrow, even if there is no track. However, we came out about there. You can kind of see the track right there. And Andrew was
Looking down at you.
Yeah, he was looking down on me. He was up a little bit. He's probably by that rock right there. And he was looking at me, I was looking at him, and all of a sudden I saw a kangaroo behind him kind of trot down the hillside. And he was like, BS. There's no kangaroos in New Zealand. So I thought then, out loud, that was my very first hallucination. It was really lame.
A little bit.
So he came up here to this kind of, I hesitate to call it a summit, but I guess that's what it is.
Grassy.
Yeah, grassy knoll, perhaps.
Oh yeah.
Without assassinations, hopefully. And then it came up. I saw it bounce up a little behind him. He was facing the other way. He turned around, and he saw this little head.
I saw his head down in amongst the grass, and I was perfectly still. And he kind of slowly came up, raised himself up, and I thought this must be a rabbit or so. That's a pretty big head, or a reindeer. I thought, with the snout. And he just hopped up here, right by where Derek's standing, and then down there.
Yeah,
he wasn't very big.
No, maybe a meter.
But that was pretty incredible. Because when I was in Australia, I wanted to see some kangaroos and some koalas, but I saw a big herd of kangaroo. I guess you call them a herd, a bunch. And I kept trying to get near them, and they would run away. This one came pretty close.
Oh, it's coming up. I just heard it jumping around.
Yeah.
The battery's almost dead. Hopefully it'll last. Get some video evidence of things that aren't supposed to exist, like Sasquatch. Only he does exist. Oh, maybe not. Okay. We'll check it.
Like Galpanax.
Okay, so we are obviously not at Mount Nimrod anymore. My battery died earlier today while we were out there. Pretty cool. Check some of Andrew's photos. To see what we did. Right now we're at the beach. You might be able to tell. A little chilly, but that's alright. Going to see the Moeraki Boulders, which are a geological something. They get covered in the high tide, and right now it's low tide. So we're gonna go see it. It's supposed to be pretty cool. Update on the day's events. Let's see. We got the butane tank. The owner made some calls, and so we had picked one up in Timaru. It's filled up now, so we can have hot food for dinner tonight.
and breakfast tea.
A breakfast tea or coffee. The radiator light came on again. We filled it up. That seems to have done the trick a little bit. It's not overheating anyway, so.
Light's back on.
Yeah, the light is on.
So it's obviously leaking the reservoir.
Yeah, it's definitely leaking.
It's not overheating.
No, so we're okay right now.
Yeah.
The initial video, maybe the only one I made, was thinking we had summited Mount Nimrod in 30 minutes. My estimation was far, far off. About 2.5 hours later we did. Following the track.
Pretty incredible, bro.
It was pretty cool. Oh yeah, I think I mentioned that earlier. We're talking about the kangaroo. Now come to believe it's probably a wallaby, which I guess is a small kangaroo. I don't know.
I think so.
I'm not an animal scientist. Not one of those people.
Animal scientist.
Yeah, we're on to you. You know, we all come from monkeys thing. Yeah, we get that. Okay. But yeah, so we've been driving most of the afternoon. Gonna take some photos of the boulders and talk to you later.